Welcome to the Middle-Raged Podcast, where your hosts, Adam and Keith, get a bit cross about stuff that really doesn't matter. Bless them. Oh, and we should probably warn you that things can be a bit sweary at times.
Hello and welcome to this episode 17 of the Middle-Raged Podcast with me, Adam Eccles, and my co-host, Keith A. Pearson. Good evening, old man.
Back to the evenings.
Yes, we're back to evenings, back to our regular schedule of, is it bi-weekly? Is that the word?
I'm going to go fortnightly.
Fortnightly, yeah. That's twice a week, isn't it? Or, I don't know.
I would say bi-weekly. No, I don't know.
Is that twice a week or twice a month or every other week? I don't know.
Bi-weekly.
But yeah, well, every roughly every 14 days, let's say that.
Probably a new gender. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll cut that out.
Non-specific weekly.
Yeah. No, I think fortnightly sounds good.
Yes.
Apart from any Americans listening in.
They won't know what that means, will they? Yeah.
They won't know what that means. So that's every 2 weeks for our American listener. I think we have plural now.
Yeah, well, one or two, yeah. Certainly we have Gabe.
Yes.
And I'm not sure who else, but there must...
Jennifer. I think Jennifer was,
right.
Jennifer, the lovely Jennifer who bought us 5 coffees. Still our record coffee acquirer of coffees.
That's right. If you want to beat, the coffee to beat is 5.
Yes. What a generous donation.
Good stuff. So here we are again. It is now January 2025. And I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. You know what I'm not going to say, but I'm not going to say it. So,
but we're going to have to, though, because it's kind of the core theme of the episode.
Oh, well, okay. So it's the new year 2025, and we're happy. How about that?
Well, happy's a stretch.
Strong word, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're still here, aren't we? So I suppose there's that.
That's right. Okay. Well, good. So,
and what is the date? It's the 9th. So
the 9th of January, yes.
So we've been in January for 9 days. And I have to say...
74, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that people sort of chuckle about, isn't it? It's the 58th of January today. Yeah. Which was probably funny the first time someone said it.
Yeah, but now... 25 years later.
Once you've heard it, a squillion times over, it's like...
That's right. Well, it's not so bad, I suppose. We've all had a bit of snow.
Did you? Oh, you had snow, did you?
Briefly, I did, but my colleague just not 80 miles away is still encased in snow and
wow,
had no power for 3 days and all the rest of it. So, yes, we do.
Well, we had... Over here, we had multiple warnings. This goes back to another episode, doesn't it?
Right,
with the Met Office issuing severe weather warnings.
And
we had multiple warnings. And in fact, my phone was pinging like almost every other hour with a new warning about ice, about snow, and God knows what else. The end of days, probably.
Yeah.
And
calm down,
we had nothing. Literally nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Oh, well.
I might have seen the odd snowflake more than usual.
It was very localised, I'd say that, right? Because little chunks of Ireland got hit. But as I say, I just got a flurry that was gone the next morning, right? So, yeah. But
do you think it just dropped on the sinners?
Must be. Cork. Tipperary.
Yeah.
Shower
they got what they had coming.
Well,
sorry for any listeners in Cork or Tipperary.
Indeed, it's a long way.
It's a long way.
Yeah.
God.
Dear.
How many times do you hear that? Because that's not far from you, is it?
Well, it's a fairly long way.
Don't. But honestly, that must be a nightmare living there or saying you're from there. or
I
you
don't
work
know if
there.
that's a sort of wartime song, isn't it? I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Yeah, maybe it's for maybe people don't know what we're talking about. Maybe they probably do because they're our sort of age.
Yes, that's the target.
But anyone of a younger generation think, what the fuck are they banging on about?
You'll have to Google it or something. It's
a long way to Tipperary, which is a famous. I think it is a wartime song, isn't it?
That sort of thing. Yeah, you can imagine the sing along.
Do you think, right, where are we now from the Second World War? So we're what, 60 years, 80 years, right?
Long time ago, yeah.
Do you think they'll still be playing music from today in 80 years' time?
That's. I often think about stuff like that. It's just, probably not.
I'm going to go out on a limb and go no.
It's certainly not any of the pop stuff that comes out. That's just sort of porn with a vague beat behind it. I don't really understand that at all. But I mean, there are still. Maybe there isn't much from that long ago that's being played. Like there's there's the people who will always listen to the same Led Zeppelin songs or whatever, right? And all of that sort of stuff. The classic rock crowd, and they will until they die. So we're refreshed.
But that stuff's like, even that stuff, that's like 60 years old, isn't it?
It's not even
50, 60 years.
So it's not that far back. So I can't think of anything that. Unless you're talking about classics, actual classics, like classical, like.
Well, there you go. I mean, when was that stuff kicking around?
Beethoven and all of those chaps.
Yeah, still going. Christ, we really have gone off piece there, haven't we?
This is what this is what you tune in for, right? Oh, good old days. Right. Well, anyway, I don't know. So, all right. So We'll skip ahead then to our follow-up section. This is things that people have said to us on social medias, and
we need a catchier title for that.
Yeah, or a jingle or something. I'll try and come up with a little anti-social.
We'll call it Catch-Up Corner. There you go. I like that.
Right. Okay.
Catch-Up Corner.
Is that ketchup or catch-up?
Catch-Up Corner.
Okay. Right. Well,
what's going on in Catch-Up Corner this week, Adam?
Catch-Up Corner. So on the wonderful X platform, formerly known as Twitter, somebody mentioned, Julie Pickford mentioned actually, that a terrible gift that she heard about somebody getting, and that made us think about what's the worst gift you've ever received. I can't think of anything offhand because I typically tell people not to buy me anything.
Does an STI count as a gift? Certainly unexpected.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Not much of a gift. But so somebody called Ashley, we won't mention his, I suppose. Second name, we don't know it. That's why we won't mention it.
That's probably why we won't mention it.
Yeah. But apparently this chap gave his wife lingerie, which is, fair enough.
Except, is that a great gift?
I mean, I wouldn't say to your wife.
You're not buying that for your wife, are you? Or your partner. You're buying that for your own titillation.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's more of an early relationship thing rather than we've been married 15 years thing.
In the early days when you're naive and know no better. I was going to say something else then, probably best not to.
Right. But so it was lingerie. But okay, fair enough so far. You can see where he's coming from. Except that it was wrapped up in tea towels. And you have to think, what was he thinking at that stage? He thought he'd get the washing up done and get laid. And sorry, mate, I reckon you lucked out there.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Ashley was basically wandering around. Now, I'm guessing this was a long time ago. I think Julie intimated it was some time back. So it's probably before the internet. And we've all been there. Christmas Eve, shop's about to shut.
There's no wrapping paper left.
There's literally no. I mean, what do? I mean, you think, I've got to buy something. I cannot wake up on Christmas Day empty-handed.
Right.
And there was a finite amount of shops in the town centre. can't afford to go into Elizabeth Duke and buy a ring or a necklace or something.
Lizzie Dukes, yeah.
Yeah, so you happen to pass... What was that famous lingerie shop? I don't think it exists anymore. No, don't know, it's gone. I can't say I ever frequented it, but he probably saw all this sort of glitzy stuff in the window and thought,
knickers, yeah,
that'll do. And then probably went home, got drunk, forgot to wrap them. What can I wrap them up in? Tea towel.
Excellent.
Job's a good one.
Classy, yeah. So I imagine that went down swimmingly.
Yes. But apparently they're still together though, so whatever Ashley did to make up for that, fair play to her.
Maybe he did the washing up.
I imagine he's probably still doing the washing up, because as a rule we know that women don't like to hold these things against us.
Oh God, no. They're short memories of that sort of thing.
And the fact that Julie brought it up in a tweet, it didn't even happen to her, so I think that goes to show. It's
legendary now amongst that circle of friends, tea towel man. Ashley tea
or somebody has done an Ashley. Oh, you've done a right Ashley on me this Christmas.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
He's gone down in infamy. Anything else on the socials? I think we've exhausted them already, haven't we?
I think we have, yeah. So if you have terrible gift stories, then we like to talk about things like that, because it's important.
Whether you are a giver or a receiver.
Okay.
Amen.
Good stuff. Okay. Let's move on then to our I'll just play the thing, will I? Character assassination.
Is that new?
I did the sort of reverby voice on top of it. But
I like that. That's very good.
Yeah,
okay.
It's so scary. So.
Yes.
There was a Christmas version of that, but we've passed that point, so we'll have to wait till next year or next Christmas.
Well, this year.
Yeah, this year. So, all right. So we had a lovely listener buy us a coffee, and that's Kevin Sawyer. So thank you to Kevin for your coffee. Lovely donation there. So we have... let me just flip to my notes. We have a nice assassination for you. So,
yes.
Actually, do you want to start with your
do you know what?
Assassination?
I started off thinking this is going to be brief.
And
these things now are getting out of hand. They're getting to a point where they're becoming almost novellas. Yeah. So I need to rein this in, or we need to come up with a new format, because this is going to take up a chunk of time. So I'm going to try and rush through it, because I have to, because I thought, can I edit this down and keep the context? And I couldn't.
Okay.
So
right.
Buckle up, folks.
Buckle up.
Right. So back in 1985, Kevin Sawyer was a 19-year-old footballer signed by Clumpton Rovers, who were back then plying their trade in the lower leagues, the lower reaches of non-league football, sort of, just one step up from pub league type thing.
Okay.
Now, in his debut season, young Kevin scored a remarkable 29 goals. And towards the end of the season, there were scouts from all the big clubs were turning up to watch him. And I think it's fair to say that Kevin's future looked bright until oh, my Lord, I can't get my teeth around that word. Tragedy struck.
Ooh.
So whilst out partying one evening, he had one too many snake bites and he fell down the stairs at Bongo's nightclub.
Oh, that can't be good.
Awful. No, and unfortunately, the injuries he sustained, he basically screwed up his spine, and that put the end to his footballing career.
Harsh.
And he ended up working in a factory in the packing department, putting ladies' hosiery into boxes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
At some point.
Maybe he did a deal with Ashley at some point. We'll never know. Yeah. So fast forward a couple of decades, and Kevin, now in his late 40s, he was offered the job as kitman for Clumpton Rovers. So although his own football career had died before it really sort of had a chance to take off, he was grateful to have the opportunity to get back into the game on some level at least.
Fair enough.
Now, 3 days before Clumpton Rovers were due to play Herne Bay in a huge cup game.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to say this was a grudge match. It was a lot riding on it. There was money. There was bragging rights. The whole shebang. So this was a big game, right? Game of the season.
Right.
But unfortunately, 5 of the Clumpton players were struck down with food poisoning.
Oh no.
So I'm going to go dodgy curry.
Yes,
always a good. I'm going to go a prawn biryani.
Prawn vindaloo.
That would do it, wouldn't it? That would definitely do it.
Oh.
Now, unfortunately, it was too late to sign any new players, but they were, and I haven't fact-checked this, so just run with it, folks. There was still 30 minutes that the club had to register a player. Uh-huh. So they asked Kevin if he would be willing to play.
Right.
Desperate. So they brought in Kevin.
Is he in a wheelchair?
No, he's okay. His back still gives him a bit of jet, and he's sort of grossly overweight and unfit. But
fair enough.
Apart from that, he's a body at the end of the day. It's better to have someone on the pitch than no one.
Right.
Anyway, so Kevin's fairy tale return to the pitch was straight out of a drama. Mm. So in the 90th minute, with the score deadlocked, 0-0.
0-0, right.
He somehow managed to summon one last ounce of energy to latch onto a hopeful cross, and he fired Clumpton Rovers into a 1-0 lead.
Nice.
Crowd erupted, and for a fleeting moment, it felt like 1995 all over again for Kevin.
Yes.
They were singing his name, chanting his name. There were people shouting and screaming, and it just seemed like the weight of all the years and the disappointment all just fell away.
Yeah,
however, as we know, football has a cruel sense of humour. So, seconds left on the clock. Picture this. I know you're not a football fan, so just run with this, okay? So, Herne Bay were awarded a free kick 20 yards out. Kevin, utterly spent at this point, shuffled into the defensive wall, not really to defend, but simply just so he could lean up against someone because he was so fucked. Right. Now, the opposition midfielder lined up the shot, and he hit it fiercely. So it was curling low and fast, but it never reached the goal. Instead, it met Kevin square in the unmentionables with a sickening thud.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Time seemed to freeze as poor Kevin doubled over, with the pain radiating like a solar flare. Yes. I've really gone in for this, you can tell. Yeah. So the ball ricocheted away, danger averted. Kevin crumpled to the ground, clutching his balls, and a final whistle blew. There's one more, right, and that's it. I'm done. So Clumpton Rovers had won, but at a cost. So in the dressing room afterwards, Kevin learned the unthinkable.
Oh, no.
The shot had ruptured his left bollock.
Jesus Christ.
Nevertheless, Kevin won Man of the Match award. And as a token of their gratitude, the club named a toilet cubicle after him. So should you ever visit Clumpton Rovers ground, you can now take a piss in the Kevin Sawyer commemorative crapper. The end.
Wonderful.
God.
Oh, ruptured a bollock though.
I know.
Was it the left or right?
It was left. It was left.
Bollock.
I mean, does it matter? I mean, is there one that's left?
I mean, are you bollock-handed? Which is predominant.
Predominant testy.
I don't know.
Well, one tends to hang a bit lower. I don't know if we should go down this route.
That dangerous route.
I'm probably just saying something that's just.
I mean, we're not doctors, ladies and gentlemen. We are.
No. Oh no, I wouldn't want to be. A
bollock doctor. Christ.
dealing with ruptured bollocks, or any bollocks for that matter. Yeah, I think there's enough bollocks. Anyway,
so a lot of it being talked here. Well,
there we go.
I think that's definitely worth the coffee. Yes, very good, very good.
So follow that, Eccles.
Right. Well, I went, as often the case, went a different route. So Kevin Sawyer is the manager of a large retail electronics store, right? Let's say.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
Yeah, like Rumbelows, example. I don't think they're around. But whenever this was happening, this is when Rumbelows was there. And he's the manager, right? So he's got a huge bunch of keys, and those indicate his managerial status. You know, they always have a huge jangle of keys on the belt.
Yes.
It's a sign of
manhood.
Yeah, definitely.
Authority.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You've got keys, you've got your tie that's never been washed, and all that good stuff, right? So
badge. You've got to have a badge.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, badge. Yeah, of course. Yeah, manager badge. And he's very dull. Does his job adequately. Every day he has a chow mein pot noodle for lunch, and then a banana at 3 p.m. Right? It's predictable, nice every day. He drives a Ford Mondeo back to his 2-bedroom terrace house in Swindon. And then he makes makes himself a microwave meal for one. And
hangs himself. Oh, sorry.
He watches TV. He lives a boring life. But what he doesn't know is that the TV that he's watching, right, is he nicked it out of the Rumbelows repair area, where people bring stuff back. It wasn't working properly, and he just jiggled it a bit and he got it working, right? So what he doesn't know is that the TV has been modified by somebody to send back the TV signals to an alien world. Distant alien world, like through some kind of ET phone home types.
Let's not get bogged down in that detail.
I don't know how it works, right? It doesn't matter. But these aliens have been receiving episodes of the Benny Hill Show for years and years. And so these aliens on the distant world assume that the planet Earth is just like being inside an episode of Benny Hill. And
do they assume that every park in the UK has yakety sax playing on out of a tannoy system? Exactly
that, right? And so they're planning to take over the Earth, right? And by building a huge army of thousands and thousands of women clad in sexy lingerie who will then run around all over our park.
Wait, hold on. Is this a character assassination or an Adam Eccles fantasy?
Being chased by horny old men. And so they assume that this is just normal for this planet, and that's what's going to happen. That's how they'll take over the world. And the book is called Yakety Zaps.
Oh, so I blew that, didn't I?
I was thinking that people might not know that the theme tune for Benny Hill is called Yakety Zaps.
Okay. Yes.
So it's good that you brought it up.
Thank you. We didn't even discuss that, did we?
No. So
I think I'd like to live in that world. I'd invite that alien invasion. Yeah.
I did a bit of Googling for about 5 seconds, and it turns out that the Benny Hill Show had 58 episodes. Did you know that? From 1955 until the conclusion in 1991.
Wow. It's still going in 91.
Yeah. Quite a long running.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was going then.
Wouldn't cut it these days, would it?
I also believe that it was quite big in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's they. You know what else was big in America is that Are You Being Served?
No.
That was huge in America for a while. For some reason.
The original with the British cast.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, who knew?
They loved all that.
Do you think, right, here's the thing. What if Mrs. Slocum's pussy was the inspiration for every rap record that's ever been made?
Oh, dear.
And when we're listening to it now, thinking they're talking in a derogatory sense about a lady part, they really are just referencing Molly Slocum's feline
Kitty cat. Yeah, that must be it.
God, that'd be a turn up, wouldn't it? Probably would have found out by now, I'm guessing. But anyway,
you never know. Stranger things have happened. So.
Indeed. So if there are any more weird weird British shows that made it big in America, that'd be an interesting conversation, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yes. It's more for our retro list, but even so, Benny Hill,
crossover.
Classic stuff. So anyway, sorry. Yeah. So thank you to Kevin for your coffee. That's lovely. And I hope you enjoyed your character assassination. One other thing we have to mention is the lovely Sue also bought some coffees, but didn't require assassinate. We've already done that, haven't we? For
Sue has been assassinated. So I think next time we should go back to we should try out our little acronym because I like that. Sue. I think we can do something with Sue's initials.
Yes.
We don't know Sue's middle initial though, so
we'll have to make one up. Or she could tell us.
I'm just trying to think. It's S and T, isn't it? Is the two. So I'm going to go, her middle names are Hilda Imelda. So, that's just base, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Oh, dear. Well, you never know.
No, you never know. So please, Sue, do let us know your middle initial or initials, and then we will
have a little, what are we calling that acronym?
Don't know.
Acro something. Acro roast.
We will have already forgotten about the something corner. What was it called? See, forgotten it already, haven't we?
Catch up corner. There we go. Catch up. I will make a little ditty for that at some point.
Okay. The catch-up corner.
Because I've got nothing else to do, right? So
fuck your day job. Fuck the book writing. Yeah. Get on and do pointless jingles.
That's it. Speaking of which, I'll just play this real quick. Actually, I won't bother playing it now. I'll just put it in later. But the thing,
The thing. There we go. We've saved you 30 seconds, listeners. Aren't we considerate? Not only do we not pepper you with adverts for incontinence pads.
They're still going to hear it. We're not just going to hear it.
Okay.
We'll put it in later. Hey there, listeners. If you're enjoying the podcast and want to help keep it going, consider supporting us with a small donation on buymeacoffee.com/middle-raged. Every donation helps us to give you more of the content you love and keeps us from venting our rage on social media. Plus, you'll get a light roasting on the show if you fancy it. We couldn't do it without you, so thanks for listening and spreading the word.
We're not going to put it in now then. I think we should, just because otherwise my gag doesn't work.
Oh, well, you want me to actually play it now?
Oh, no, fuck that. I don't want to listen to it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, we're doing this. Like, they have to listen to it.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So what are we enraged about this week? Well, this week, is it week? No, we're not.
This episode. Let's go this episode.
This episode, we are enraged about New Year's.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Because it has many rage points to it, I would say.
It does. So, it's topical. We're always topical, aren't we? Bang on topical. All right. So what's the first rage point?
Now, this is a tough one, right? Because I don't want to come across as what is colloquially known as a gym wanker. Okay.
Okay. That's not somebody who stands in the gym watching the women on the exercise bikes and
oh no, I do that. No, it's the principle of people who go. It's a bit like veganism, I suppose. It's like, how do you know that someone's a vegan? Well, they'll fucking tell you everything. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I don't want to be that person, but I've been going to the gym since 2011, I think I first joined, right? And the reason being, it's not for some sort of, virtuous thing. It's purely because if I didn't, because I sit on my arse all day, I would be the size of a 2-bedroom bungalow by now. So I have that type of metabolism that is, honestly, if I literally don't exercise, I will balloon. So I have no choice, right, to go. And I have tested this theory, trust me.
Okay.
So I have no choice. Now, as we go into January, it is the time of year where everyone decides that they're going to join a gym because they want to get fit for the summer holiday. So everyone wants to look good in. I think that's primarily it, because I think people look back on last year's, probably the snaps and whatever of their thing, and they go, oh, I did not look good in my Speedos or my bikini or my thong or whatever it is they were wearing.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was more, I mean, that makes sense, right? But I just kind of thought it was, oh, new year, new me, that kind of bollocks.
I'm sure that's part of it. And then there's obviously people overindulge at Christmas as well, don't they?
Yes.
It's just a season of gluttony. So I guess there's some sort of guilt associated to it as well. So there's probably multiple reasons why January is the month where everyone goes, I'm going to join a gym.
Right.
And I mean everyone. I mean literally everyone. Well, your nearest gym's probably about 30 miles or something, isn't it?
Yeah, at least, yeah. But I mean, even if it was next door, I still wouldn't.
Well, you say that.
I would just walk down to the beach instead.
Yeah. Now, the problem is, I have no beef with people who want to go to a gym and get fit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no beef at all. And I think all credit to them. Everyone who goes to a gym regularly will know what it's like when they first start out. You don't like it. You feel very self-conscious. Yes. And so, I mean, full credit to those people. But I know from previous experience that these people will not be there in 6 weeks' time.
Yeah,
so I've got to the point now, I think, well, fuck them, because they're not going to stay at it. Okay. And all they do is when you walk in, so I walked in on the 2nd, I think it was, and fuck me, it was like the night of the living dead. There was these grey-faced, sad, chubby people wandering around aimlessly, like moaning and groaning and just awful. And they clutter up everything. So you want to get on a particular machine, and they've only got like 1 or 2 of these machines. And then there's people who don't know what they're doing, right? And but they don't sort of ask someone. They just keep messing around with it. Yeah. And you're stood there thinking, can you just hurry the fuck up? But they don't. They just do. Yes. They don't follow protocol, so they never wipe up their sweat after them. They never put stuff back. They have a certain smell.
Yeah, the smell.
See, I think that most regular gym goers know that you have to be clean before you go, right? Because sweat smells, right? But nothing smells worse than dirty sweat. Like somebody who was already unclean. Yeah. Horrible. So there's just a lack of etiquette amongst these people as well. They just they don't know the rules, the unwritten rules that, people who go to a gym all adhere to. So it's this whole thing, and the gym seems to give them discounts as well, which pisses me off. And you think, well, you're making I'm paying full price, and my experience is being compromised by these people who are paying probably half of what I'm paying, and they're making my life a misery. Well, not quite. It's a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, to say it's a misery, but it's you get my point. They're getting in my way. They're making me spend more time than is absolutely necessary. Yes. And then we have to come on to the changing rooms.
Which is probably grim in the first place, right?
It's grim, and it's big, and it's open plan, and there's a swimming pool attached, so you get all sorts of people wandering around
with the
and because of the time of day I go, it's there's too many naked people, which is not great. But when you got a lot of people who are, let's just say, not in the first flush of youth and the wrong side of 20 stone, no one wants to see that.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes. And they're there in numbers. I mean, you can look at when it's normal amounts of people, you can look away and avert your eyes. Right. But when there's, you're talking 2, 3, 4. I know, wherever you look, there's
leftover pigs in
chipolatas, trust me. It's
man.
just not pleasant at all. It is. God,
Jesus Christ.
the whole thing is just it ruins what I it's just a routine for me, and I quite like the routine element of it. And I go and I turn up and I use my stuff and I know what's what, and I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's almost autopilot. So I don't like things that sort of bust my rhythm.
Yes, indeed.
And all of these living dead people, they bust my rhythm.
Yeah.
I think they should do it. I think they should stagger it. And why all come in February or March? Don't do it in January. Okay, go back to the original rage point. Right.
Yes.
Why does January have to be the poxy month that you all decide to do this en masse, right?
Yeah. And I think it's all this is going to overflow the whole topic, right? Is that this... Look, January to me is it's just a date increment. It goes around, right? We don't, it's Monday, every happy Monday. Well, I suppose some people say that, right? But there's this
Come on, who says that?
Yeah, well,
Happy Monday.
Work people. There was a band, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Happy Mondays, yeah.
Bastards.
But not anyone who says Happy Monday.
Yeah, bastards.
Radio DJs?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So what we're suggesting really is just quite annoying people.
That's right. You don't have the fireworks and, I don't understand all of this focus and stress and sort of celebration and all of this. I mean, I don't do it, right? But it's a date change. Why do we have to attach so much everything to it? Why is it celebrated? Why is it a big thing? It's just, and why does it start all this, new year, new me bollocks? I don't get it. I don't get it.
So did you celebrate New Year's Eve?
No, didn't give a fuck. I was probably writing. Didn't even notice that it happens. Right? I never do because I don't care.
I was watching a video about the people that go up to see the fireworks in London, central London.
Right.
Because I bet you everyone sits around and looks at that on the TV every year and go, oh my God, that looks amazing. Oh, one year we've got to do that. Right. Well, I never have, but I did see this video, this guy, and essentially you get herded into a pen 90 minutes before the you've got to pay now to see it. You can't just pitch up. So, and depending on how much money you're willing to hand over, it depends on which pen you get put in. And there's probably 500 plus people in each of these pens with one Portaloo between them.
Yeah, lovely.
So you got 500 people that are drunk with one Portaloo.
And they're probably, if they're serving beer or whatever, it's probably 18 quid a pint, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And they're going to be serving beer, aren't they? Because 100%, captive audience there. Yeah. Anyway, so you got that, and basically the view you get is the view you get. And if it's not great, well, tough shit, mate. And you can't leave. Once you're in the pen, you're there.
Yeah.
And then he was showing the video. So you got this 10 minutes. I think it was 10 to 15 minutes, maybe, the actual display itself, right? And that's that.
Fine, yeah.
So you've stood outside by this point for a couple of hours.
Fucking Baltic. Probably raining.
Absolutely fucking Baltic, right? So you're frozen to the bone. You've had 2 pints of £36 worth of lager. The queue for the toilet is because, of course, being outside, freezing cold, and needing a pee is just that's a whole level of hell, isn't it?
All of those things compound. Yeah,
awful. And then he showed the queues for the tube, the underground.
Oh no!
Because of course you've got everyone wanting to leave exactly the same time. It's not like a concert where you go to the O2 or something, and people will sort of go and have a drink afterwards in one of the many bars, and they sort of filter out really. But what are you doing at 12:10? You're like, well, should we just stand here and enjoy the ambience for another half an hour?
The fucking freezing.
I mean, basically, this guy described this thing as the most horrific event he'd ever attended, and I think he paid. I mean, before the beer, I think it was 30 quid a ticket or something.
Oh, yeah, you can just watch it on the telly.
Exactly,
much
exactly. You're not paying 18 quid for a beer. You can piss your pants where you are if you want to.
Yeah. exactly.
Yeah, that seems that much more sensible. But yeah, so I think this is just going to ramble into one long thing, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, so that's the gym, The Walking Dead at the gym. That is a valid thing. I mean, why spread it out, lads? If you're going to do it, yeah. Or maybe don't start at the gym. Go for a walk. Yes,
now that would be a better idea, because a lot of them are so unfit that they've got no chance of getting fit.
Exactly. I mean, if there's, you can watch things on the TV that tell you what to do. You don't need to go to the gym. And I think people probably think that paying the money to the gym, actually, that's enough.
They think, I suspect they kid themselves that if I'm paying for it, I will use it.
Oh, yeah, no, of course you won't.
Definitely that's utter bullshit. You've got your priorities. It's like saying, I'd like to learn the piano. I'm going to go and buy a baby grand. Because it's like £15,000 or something.
Right, they would start with that,
because that's going to make me want to learn the piano, having a £15,000 instrument.
Spoiler alert, that never works. It's like when people say, I'm going to write a book, and then they go and buy 25 empty paper journals and spend 3 months worrying about which journal they're not. I don't want to ruin this.
$2,000 laptop.
So nice. Yeah. And then never actually write the book, right? So,
no.
Yeah.
They end up playing Candy Crush on this $2,000 laptop.
Anyway, okay, so we're going to try and stick to our 1 hour thing today.
Okay.
So me, what bugs me about New Year stuff is the going back to work after the few days off, right? Every meeting and every email. I mean, all this week, it's Thursday now, probably even tomorrow, it's still going to happen, right? Do you have a good Christmas and Happy New Year and all this bollocks, right? And of course I've had to hear about everyone's snow over and over, because a lot of the same people are on the same meetings, but not all of them, right? So I've heard the same snow stories over and over. Oh God. And it's just like, it's all this fake stuff about it just goes back to my ever of work thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically becoming a common thing. Yeah. Here's a question for you, right? I wonder if anyone's ever conducted a study to see if you just took the words Happy New Year, right, typing that out, and then extrapolate the amount of times that's written in emails across the entire UK.
Yeah. Thousands
every year.
Hours.
How many man hours would that have been wasted?
I mean, I type pretty fast, but still, yes. Well,
and the annoying thing is, when somebody types it to you in an email, you feel obligated to type it. So you're wasting somebody else's time as well.
Yes.
I had an email yesterday from somebody I'd emailed before Christmas, and they emailed me back and they started it with Happy New Year, and immediately annoyed me because like, it's like the 8th now.
That's
too late.
Statute of limitations, right?
And now if I don't say that back, I'm made to feel bad. Yeah.
Oh well, I won't say it next time.
Yeah, good.
And then there's the people who abbreviate it, right? And I know to my colleague Ian, who's no doubt listening, he just loves to hear the HNY. HNY, everybody.
Oh, God.
The horny naked yoga, I think we call that.
Oh, where'd you sign up for that? I'll see if they've got that as a class at the gym.
Well, that's something we could all stand behind.
Not in fucking January. You don't want to be attending that. God. No, thank you.
Yes. So, it's this. I mean, everything at work is shit, right? But I don't need the literally 10 minutes of a 30-minute call to be talking about Happy New Year and how was your Christmas and all this shit. It's like it's worse than going back after you've just had a holiday, right? Because everyone's like, how was your holiday? I'm like, just fuck off. doesn't matter. It's not, you weren't there. So I always say, you know, any day away from work is just better. So, you know.
Do you know what? We could probably timestamp all these. We're going to look back to and how over time, slowly, Adam had a nervous breakdown related to work.
Yes. So buy my books, please.
Yes.
Get me the fuck out of there. But anyway.
They're on the upside, right? I'm imagining that you must love all of the exciting projects and enthusiasm and the pizzazz that everyone brings into the new year.
That's it, isn't it? Yes. All of this, we're going to start the new year with all this, where all our batteries are recharged and all this. We're going to, you know, this is the year when it's going to be great. And fuck off. Just...
Who's it great for? Inevitably, the shareholders.
The people at the top, yeah. There's dozens of these. You get all these emails from people you've never heard of, and they're high up the chain, and they're all talking about how all these fresh starts and we're gonna do great this year. This is the year of AI, and this is the year of this, that, and the other. And just thinking, like,
isn't it year of the pig?
I don't know, is it?
Could be. Or the rat.
The
not
artificial
sure.
pig, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, right, it's just a fucking date increment, right? And actually what I was going to say a minute ago is if, for example, at the gym, right, or if you are going to start some kind of new project or something, right, and this is to improve your life in whatever way, here's a pro tip, right? You don't need to wait for January. Right? Just fucking do it whenever you think about it.
100%.
You know, because if you do wait for January, that just means you're procrastinating. And you're not actually going to do it because, you know, January comes around, you know, you buy a diary, for example. I'm going to write a diary this year. So the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of January, you'll write a nice diary. After that, then what? April the 17th, Auntie Phyllis's birthday. That's the rest, and the rest is blank, right? Because you don't do these things. So if you want to join a gym, if you want to write a book, start some new project, whatever, just do it whenever. You don't need
I think
to wait.
the other thing as well is that people have... Okay, so here's my view on New Year's resolutions and the like. Okay,
Right.
Point one, I don't care if you've made any, right?
Yes, right.
So if you've made any, good for you.
Yes, good for
Well,
you.
no one else needs to know. Okay.
Definitely.
Point two, right? The same people ask every year, and I've never made any. So why the fuck are you asking me this year?
Yeah. Have you made I don't do them, obviously, because I don't give a fuck. But no, yeah, New Year's resolution.
And I sometimes just purely to seem polite or just to humour someone, I might say, yes, this is my New Year's resolution. But realistically, it's normally just something I've already done or doing or planned that I'm just going to rehash just for the, you know, for appearance sake. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't that last year as well?
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, but I did it.
Yeah,
did you do yours?
Exactly.
No, you fucking didn't. No.
Right. Yeah. No, again, though, yeah, you don't have to wait. You just do them whenever they whenever they
anything,
come up
any ambition, anything that you want to learn. I don't know, if you want to climb Kilimanjaro, whatever it is, do it.
Do it. So then it spreads out, and you don't get a pack of people at the gym or whatever.
Yeah. We should also touch on the horror that is people who say they're doing dry January.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you're doing the only people that do dry January are alcoholics.
Right.
I'm going to go out and say that.
I mean, yeah, because for me, I don't really drink much. I could go 6 months without having any kind of drink and not really caring.
You know, I like a beer or a G&T or something, but I fairly frequently will go 3 or 4 weeks without having a drink. So So,
and you don't have to make a fucking big deal about it and post it on social.
I did have dry October.
Yeah.
But it's this arbitrary nature of it, right? Rather than going, right, I'm going to have dry January. Why are you having dry January? So I'm cutting back on my alcohol, right?
Yes.
So you know you've got a problem. So what's going to happen on the 1st of Feb?
Right, you're going to get slaughtered, yeah.
Yeah, and then you get back into the same routine, right? You need to address the problem rather than just saying, if I quit for a month, then and being virtuous about it and telling everyone. Yes. And also, it's the most miserable bastard month of the year. Why would you not want to have a drink in January?
That's it, yeah. Of all the months, right?
Basically, we should be drunk for January. We should call it Drunk January. Honestly, you start on New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
And then you wake up on the 1st of February going, fucking hell. Whoa, that was a night. In a hedge somewhere, pants on your head,
Belarus,
bicycle parked up your ass. I mean, it's just, you're like, wow. I mean, house repossessed.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. Now that, I think, would be something to look forward to. And January, as we know, is a long month. So if you're in a sort of semi-drunken coma for half of it, or most of it, or all of it, good
nice
thing.
Way to pass the time.
You wouldn't need to put the heating on because you'd be just numb all the time. I think we've come up with something here.
Yeah. You heard it
Drunk
first.
January, sponsored by Middle-Aged.
Yeah. But I mean, look, again, though, if you want to do something, you can do things without having to tell other people you're doing them. You don't have to post it or be virtuous or, was it virtue signaling, all of that wank?
Yeah.
You don't need to do that because that just annoys people, right? And the people who don't care or don't need to do dry January because they're not shit-faced all the time anyway, you know. And I mean, to take it to the level where you have to say it's a thing, I'm just wondering, like, how much do people normally drink? Like, do they have a bottle of wine every
clearly
day?
too much.
Yeah. Because that to me is weird in itself, right? Again, like, if I had a beer a week, that would be rare. I mean, I know I'm a weirdo, right? And I drink 0% beer anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. But I don't know. Just.
And one last thing on dry January, right? So, how many people have a birthday in January?
I would imagine a 12th of the percent.
A 12th of the population, right?
Yes,
now, you're denying a 12th of the population the right to celebrate their birthday because you are being a self-righteous prick.
Yes, right.
And that strikes me as grossly unfair, right? If your friend or a family member has got a birthday in January, you go, well, I'm sorry, I can't come because, you know, I'm doing dry January. I mean, what sort of a friend, family member are you?
Yeah,
just
annoying.
And frankly, I mean, or worse, right? They decide to come along and be sober. And you think, oh, the only reason I invited you because you're a laugh. We like laughing at you when you're drunk. And now you've turned up sober. Fuck.
Yeah, and there's no fun to be the sober person, I can tell you.
No.
At a drunken event. It's not
no.
fun.
So just stop being selfish. In fact, as soon as you finish listening to this podcast, go and get wankered.
Yeah.
Even if it's lunchtime or 8:30 and you're listening on the way to work.
Driving to work.
Just blame us. Just say Adam and Keith told me to do it, right? And I reckon that will fly in any type of disciplinary meeting.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no worries at all.
Caveat: we are not lawyers.
Not lawyers.
Or doctors.
Or anyone really you should listen to. Probably. Apart from when we're telling you, good advice, which I reckon we do spout a little bit of that, right?
Infrequently, but occasionally.
Go do your thing whenever you want to instead of in January, right? And don't drink so much that you need to have an event that's a non-drinking event. I just spread it out, right? Calm down, people. Calm down.
Yes.
And that's the nub of it, right? Is there's a whole year. You don't have to cram everything into January.
Or abstain from everything or accomplish everything. Just there's 12 months. Just spread it. Spread it.
That's it.
There we go.
All
I think we
right.
should. That's a great note to say. Well, Happy New Year.
Yes. And you can look forward to much more raging over the course of the year.
Oh, a given, absolute given.
Yes. Okay, well, good. So moving on then, and I probably should make a jingle for this as well. I mean, jingles. And do people like jingles? I don't know.
Who doesn't love a jingle?
Yeah.
I think people, our demographic, right?
Yeah.
They probably still
Grew up.
remember the Radio 1 jingles from the
Yeah.
80s and the 70s. So
That's it.
I'm going to go, yeah, we need more jingles.
Right, okay. So I need a...
You said that with no enthusiasm whatsoever.
Well, we got... Let's say that's the happy ending jingle.
So from Happy New Year to happy endings.
Yes. So what are you happy about this episode?
Well, breaking news, listeners. So just over 2 hours ago, at the time of recording, my son and his wife welcomed their first child and my first grandling to the world. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did nothing.
I hope not.
Now,
Fucking
obviously, I've yet to meet little Emily.
There's a girl. Okay, lovely.
That's her name. But I suspect that we will be formally introduced
so.
once she's capable of holding a conversation.
Yes. That'll be a while,
3,
yeah.
I think, is about the age, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it'll be,
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to jump into this sort of male-female thing, right? But the way that men and women react to the birth of a child is, if there's any split between the more wide between the sexes than the birth of a child,
Yes.
I have yet to see it.
Yes.
It is unbelievable.
I'm sure your missus is going ballistic, yeah.
Well, listen, I'm in my office recording a podcast. And there are females putting bunting up somewhere, probably.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that says it all. I mean, fair enough. It doesn't happen very often. That you can get excited about, you know.
I tend to be more anxious about these things. Well,
yeah.
look, I'm just like the child has arrived. The child is healthy, as
There
are
you go.
parents.
That's all you need.
And do you know what? This is quite funny. I don't think he'll ever thank me for saying this, but my son was messaging me last night. They've been in since yesterday afternoon,
Oh,
right?
bloody hell.
I know, fucking grueling.
Oh,
But I said to him, look, these things can take hours. But you know what? Well, you'll find this out. Once kids get to a certain age, they just turn their brains off because they're like, whenever you say anything, because they assume they know everything once they're in their 20s.
Yes.
So they stop listening to it. And I said, look, it could be a long, long time, right? And you will get bored.
yeah, bring a book.
And rest assured, he was messaging me about midnight last night going, oh, I'm so bored and this chair is so uncomfortable. And then he sent me a message about 20 minutes later, like, oh, Charlie's all right. That's his wife. It's like this long rambling list of complaints.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Well, you know, I've done that part of it as well. And what bugged me the most was that the hospital is so hot. Why is it so fucking hot in there? Doesn't it need to be?
Well, they got money to burn, literally, haven't they?
They must do, yeah.
Do you realise if they just turned the thermostat down 2 degrees in every hospital,
Probably
the
saved
NHS debt would just drop by 28 billion?
And I think that people would be healthier. I'm sure that it's unhealthy to be, 26 degrees Celsius.
It is. Now you mention it, it is yeah. I don't spend a lot of time in hospitals, thank God, but they are oppressively warm.
It's a haven for germs.
Yeah. So basically, you do want it like a fridge because
turn that fucking heat down.
I think if every hospital had a thermostat set to 7 degrees. It would also deter people who just want to turn up, like hypochondriacs.
Yeah, that'll keep them out. They used to do that in consumption era. They'd put you outside in the freezing, and that was your bed. It was in the mountains,
Now, I would imagine that anyone who went through that would say, never did me any harm.
Well, if they lived through it, then yes.
Well, okay. But, Darwin was probably onto something. It's survival of the fittest and all that. Get rid of the...
Yeah. Stop cooking those babies. They're just too hot. Yeah. But anyway, glad to hear that baby Emily has joined the world. And no doubt in about 45 years, she'll be raging with the rest of us.
45 years. Jesus Christ. I was trying to work that out.
Something like
wow.
Yeah.
I frankly, I get as soon as she can talk, she'll be like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Do you ever see these videos on, sorry, another sidebar. It is one of the more, I'm not somebody who spends hours and hours looking at videos online, but I did see one the other day that my daughter sent me, and it was infants who can just about talk, right?
Yes.
And they swear.
Yes, brilliant.
Very amusing. Shouldn't be.
Yeah. Have you seen the one where there's this girl who says, there's a fucking goat outside?
Yes.
Fucking love that.
A fucking goat.
No, it's a brilliant. Oh, that's
genius.
A classic.
Oh, yes, that is. So, I have made it my mission to see if I can extract.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Teacher.
So, and then they'll say, "Why did you do that?" And I said, "Well, why did you leave the child with me?
Yeah,
I mean, I've done my bit, right? If you're irresponsible enough to dump your child on me and expect me to babysit, then you got nobody to blame but yourself. Because I'm now irresponsible because I've done my bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a grandparent's prerogative, isn't it? To teach the kid bad things, give them a load of sweets and then send them back.
Yeah. Here, just eat that 15th Haribo. Go back to mummy and daddy.
Bye.
Yeah. That kid's got the zoomies for 12 hours straight.
I tell you what,
and you're just lying in bed going,
buy
my work here is
trumpet for her third birthday. The parents will love you.
I was thinking that, or maybe a xylophone, something bangy. Yeah.
Drum kit.
Recorder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Classics.
Nothing sounds better than a recorder. Hey, do you know what? Even if you're really good at playing the recorder, it's still black fingernails down a blackboard, isn't it?
Yeah, I have PTSD from those from school, you know.
Oh,
fucking
awful.
Recorder. And it's full of spit. It's just disgusting.
Because they were communal recorders, weren't they? I mean, who's bringing their own recorders to school?
Yeah, and then you have these fluffy sticks. What the fuck are those things called? But you shove them into, and they scoop out the spit. Just absolutely disgusting. Anyway,
isn't it amazing? Right, a couple of years ago we all had to wear masks and sanitize our hands. You think, wait a minute, we're the generation that you just suck on and blow on a recorder.
Basically licking everyone's
400 kids had used over the preceding week. We ain't going to catch anything. We're virtually immortal.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway, sorry. Right. So, what's your happy ending this week?
I mean, I'm clutching at the straws here because that's not the happiest time of the year, really, is it? But anyway, I've gone on ad infinitum about the book that I released recently, right? So that's done and dusted. But I have started work on a new one, completely new, and it's going quite well. And it's going quite fast compared to the other one, at least. So I've already got like 15% of it written, I think. So yeah, that's my happy ending is I'm working on something new and it's more exciting than working on the thing that I had read 300 times and got pissed off with, right? So,
but you know that it will be it's Groundhog Day though, isn't it? Because in 3 months' time you'll be saying the same thing about the book you're currently excited about.
Quite possibly, right? But at the moment, it's fun. So I'm having a bit of a laugh with that. So
the seesaw always tips, doesn't it? From being excited about the book you're writing to being way more excited about the book that you're going to write next. And it always happens about you get halfway-ish and then, I fucking hate this book and I'm now just keen to get on with the next one.
Yeah. If we could just write it all at the start or just write the first half and then move on and I don't know. There needs to be a better
Maybe you
way.
can make that your New Year's resolution.
Well, my non-New Year, my just general life resolution was I wanted to put out 2 books this year, right? So, and I do need to get this one done before the middle of the year, I suppose, to fit in with that, right? So hopefully that will happen, but we'll see. Never say.
No, life has a tendency to, when you make plans too grandiose, to
shit on you.
Yeah, it'll just. I think you can only look so far forward, can't you?
That's it. Yeah.
It's like these job interviews, and they say, "Where can you see yourself in 5 years?"
Well, dead probably.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't going down that route, but you know,
it's a stupid question, isn't it? How could you possibly, who knows? Yeah. Anyway, right. So sorry.
There we go.
So starting a new book. I mean, it's kind of the same, isn't it? And it's like a little baby, sort of. It
is. Yeah,
frankly.
it's a new beginning.
Yeah.
You're birthing a work of literature into the world, and hopefully, now I you. I've got to be very careful what I say here. When you birth this book, you won't make quite the same fuss that the average woman does.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I know it stings a bit.
But God. Email Keith, not me. Oh, God.
I am jesting. Oh, God.
Yeah, but I think they should make it much more comfortable for the husbands and turn the heat down.
Yes, yeah.
In the hospital and put some comfy chairs around.
Oh, and apparently the mockers in the vending machine are not sweet enough as well.
Mean the coffee in the vending machine is going to be piss, right?
Yeah.
That's a given. Vending machine coffee, it's just, yeah.
So, I mean, that was my overriding feedback from yesterday. So, yeah. Thanks for that, son.
He's doing well then.
Yes.
Fair enough.
We'll wait till he finds out how much nappies cost.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God almighty, yeah. Yeah. And the milk stuff, what the hell's that called? Formula.
Oh, I think they're doing...
everyone thinks
Prestige.
they're doing that until they start doing it. And then
some people keep going though, don't they? You see four and 5-year-olds suckling off the teat.
Look, this is completely offside, right? But wouldn't it be weird if we had huge factories of women hooked up to machines, right? Getting milk out, and then that was what was, sold around the country in little litre bottles. But we don't find it weird at all that we're drinking cow's milk. Isn't that weird?
Wow. Okay. Oh, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
I don't think that a woman would be a human. Would be able to produce enough milk.
Enough, right? I mean, you'd need massive but I mean, the unemployment level would go way down, wouldn't it? I mean, they'd all be paid, obviously.
Do that? But don't they only lactate?
I don't know.
When they're pregnant, they must be afterwards. It's got to be afterwards.
It has to be afterwards, yeah. So, well, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because if there's kids still, on the tit at 4 and 5 years, so this at least
keep it going. I think it just keeps going, right?
Just keeps going.
But I am not a gynecologist, obviously.
You definitely aren't, because that's surely not the bit that a gynecologist specialises in.
I don't know.
So, okay.
I don't know.
Dr. Adam will see you now for your internal inspection. Why he's asking me to remove my bra? New policies. Yeah. Mrs. Jones, new policies. Now, that is a really good question, and I would like to know the answer to it.
I mean, it just seems weird to me. I mean, obviously, I don't really want to buy, human milk in a jug in Tesco's, right? But
why is that? But you make a very valid point. Why is that more
this point?
unpalatable than cow's milk or goat's milk?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, cow and goats, they're not exactly... You wouldn't want to go and kiss one.
You would imagine that the human boobage is cleaner than another.
Yeah, it's got to be... obviously, it is edible, right?
And you're human. Yeah. I mean, it's the same species.
It's what we're supposed to be drinking. So
yes,
why did we...
And many of us have.
Yeah, so... I don't know.
That was a great
seems
stag
weird
do
to me. But
yes.
Just as an aside, I mean, I don't know where we're going with this, right? But, maybe your son can do some research soon and let us know.
Oh, okay, right. I'll. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's probably a good time to say if anyone does know if that's been tried, or maybe we've stumbled upon something here.
I reckon there's probably a black market of people who buy it for their specialist coffee or something. You know. I wonder, can you froth it up like in a cappuccino? Or
do you know what? We could start this. We could have a range of, I don't know, middle-range titty juice bars.
But nobody's buying our juice, mate.
No, fair play.
We need to enlist some women to help us out.
I don't think we're going to make any money off a teaspoon a day, are we?
Oh my God. Right.
Sorry.
We should
really have. Well, this is what happens when we overrun.
Yeah.
Things just go off a cliff.
Over.
Yeah. People, thankfully, I would imagine most people have tuned out by now, so they won't have to hear this abomination of an ending.
All right. Well, enough of that. That was episode 17. Hope you liked it. Say hello on the socials. Do tell us about your terrible gifts that you've been given. And if you enjoy the odd, what's the word, snifter of breast milk.
I thought we'd let that go.
Never.
It's back. And Sue, please do let us know your middle initial, or not, right, if you'd rather we did not
disgrace you on air.
Disgrace your name again.
Okay, so you can go to buymeacoffee.com/middle rage, and you can donate and have your character assassinated or similar, and a splash of frothy breast milk in that coffee. That's what we'll be having with it. Definitely. I take mine black, actually, so there.
Good. Yeah, me too.
Good
stuff. I am now.
All right. Is that it? I think that's it.
Say goodbye, Adam.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.